I'm Rachel.
Standing in my parents' foyer, holding a victim services card and wearing a ridiculous turkey apron, I watched as my family's world crumbled before my eyes. Just moments ago, FBI agents had burst in and arrested my sister, Lily, for securities and wire fraud related to her startup, Luna Tech Solutions. The room was in chaos, with my mother fainting, my father's face ashen, and Lily screaming that it was all my father's idea. It all started years ago. I grew up in a family where my sister, Lily, was the center of attention. She was beautiful, charismatic, and had a way of making every room she entered revolve around her. I, on the other hand, was the quiet one. I spent my time reading books in corners while Lily performed for our relatives. I was the one who got straight A's, but everyone was always more interested in Lily's latest acting audition. My first real wake-up call came during my high school graduation. I was the valedictorian, having worked tirelessly for 4 years to earn that honor. But when it was time for me to give my speech, my parents' seats were empty. They showed up 20 minutes late, saying that Lily had a callback for a commercial and they couldn't leave her alone. My mother told me I was so independent that I didn't need their cheering, while Lily was more sensitive. It took me a long time to realize that independent was just their way of saying I wasn't their priority. Fast forward to my adult life. I became a forensic accountant at a well-respected financial firm in New York. I had a 6-figure salary and had worked on high-profile cases that made headlines. But at family dinners, my achievements meant nothing. My father would dismiss my work as just typing numbers, while my mother and father fawned over Lily, who was constantly between jobs but was always exploring incredible opportunities. One day, my mother called and said there was a family meeting. When I arrived at my parents' house, I found the dining room transformed. Lily had set up a presentation for her startup, Luna Tech Solutions. She talked about AI-powered data management for small businesses, using all the buzzwords in the startup playbook. She proudly announced that our parents had agreed to invest their entire $500,000 retirement fund in her company. I couldn't stay silent. I started asking basic due diligence questions about her revenue projections, client acquisition models, and the so-called angel investors. But my mother cut me off, saying I was just jealous. My father told me it was Lily's moment and that I shouldn't interrogate her. They believed in her, and they thought I was just trying to tear her down. That night, I couldn't sleep. I wrote a detailed email to my parents, pointing out all the red flags in Lily's business plan. I attached articles about startup failure rates and a spreadsheet showing responsible early-stage funding. But my parents ignored my email. They transferred the money, saying it was an investment in family and that Lily was going to make them all rich. A year later, at my mother's birthday party, Lily showed up in a leased BMW, acting like a successful entrepreneur. Everyone was impressed, but I could see through her act. I overheard my parents talking about giving her another $50,000 to bridge a cash flow gap. I knew things were going wrong, but I had no proof. Lily confronted me in the backyard, accusing me of being jealous and trying to sabotage her. I told her I was concerned about where the money was going. She got angry and told me to stay out of her business. That night, I decided to stop trying to intervene. I called my father and told him I wouldn't be involved if Lily needed more money. After that, I was gradually excluded from family gatherings. My mother sent me a Venmo request for a kitchen appliance, and family photos on social media no longer included me. 2 years after the investment, I received a call from an attorney, Mr.
Thompson.
He said my grandfather, who had passed away 4 years ago, had left me a supplementary provision in his will. He would give it to me when the time was right. I had a feeling things were about to fall apart for my family. A month later, I met Agent Ava Diaz at a financial crimes conference. She recognized me from a previous case and gave me her business card, saying to call if I ever saw anything unusual. I almost told her about Lily's startup, but I held back. 3 years after my parents' investment, I was invited to Thanksgiving dinner. My mother said Lily had a special announcement. I arrived early and was immediately put to work setting up the party. When Lily made her entrance, she looked like a star. My father gave a toast, saying their investment in Luna Tech Solutions was paying off beyond their wildest dreams. He also took the opportunity to belittle me, saying I should learn from Lily and build something of my own.
Just then the doorbell rang.
It was Agent Ava Diaz and another FBI agent. They were there to arrest Lily for securities and wire fraud. In the chaos that followed, Lily screamed that it was my father's idea. She said he had helped her write fake financial reports to get more funding. After the agents left, my father asked me to testify that he didn't know what Lily was doing. I refused. I reminded him of the email I had sent 3 years ago, and I told him I wouldn't lie for him. Aunt Grace came to me later and apologized for laughing at me and for not seeing the truth. I told her that next time, she should speak up before a disaster happens. 3 days after Thanksgiving, Mr. Thompson called again. He told me that my grandfather had left me a lake house in the Adirondacks, valued at around $800,000. He also gave me a letter from my grandfather, saying he knew I was the one who saw things clearly and that he trusted me to take care of the house. My mother called 2 weeks later, demanding that I sell the lake house to pay for Lily's legal fees. I refused, saying they had made a bad decision by investing in Lily's startup without listening to me. I set boundaries, telling them I wouldn't provide financial support for Lily's defense or lie in court. 6 months after Thanksgiving, Lily pleaded guilty to multiple counts of fraud and was sentenced to 5 years in federal prison. My father was indicted as a co-conspirator and accepted a plea deal. Their house and savings were gone, and they moved into a small, run-down apartment. I visited them once, bringing groceries. I told them I was there because they were still my parents, but I wasn't ready to hug them. While my family was falling apart, I was building my own life. I got a promotion at work, became the director of forensic accounting. I started spending weekends at the lake house, renovating it, and creating a reading nook named after my grandfather. I also started therapy, which helped me realize my own worth. I met a carpenter named Ethan. He was reliable and kind, and he made me feel valued. 1 year after Thanksgiving, my mother called to apologize. She said she had been going to therapy and realized how much she had failed me. We decided to try to build a new relationship, but it was going to be a long and difficult process. 18 months after Lily's arrest, I visited her in prison. I asked her if it was really my father's idea or if she was just scared. She admitted that it was both. She said she had made the choice to take the money and sign the fake documents. Looking back on this whole experience, I've learned that my worth isn't determined by my family's opinion. Setting boundaries is necessary for self-love, and sometimes it's best to step back and let consequences play out. I still see my parents occasionally, and our relationship is fragile but honest. I have a career I'm proud of, a partner who loves me, and a place to call home. I've finally found peace.